This demonstration has changed hearts and minds. Ray is not articulate enough to show you what the soil is speaking. This is called the rain simulator, but what it's going to show, and I'm going to tell you, each of those pans have holes in it. But before I do that and I explain the machine, I'm going to tell you there's 4 things that you have to remember. I told you the principles of 4. 4 valves in the heart, 4 regions, 4 climates, 4 principles. We're going to talk about 4 ecosystem services. If you farm, you ranch, or you garden, you got to remember these 4 things. This machine's going to show them all, these 4. Number 1, your job is to capture sun, light energy, and convert it to chemical energy. It's called photosynthesis. Without plants, without any of these processes, we would have the moon, we would have the Mars, we would have death. Our first job, and where farmers and ranchers are failing on a global scale, we are not capturing enough sun and converting it to liquid sun, which feeds the microbes. Number 2, our second job is to make sure the water enters the soil. It's called the small water cycle. 60% of our water comes from the ocean, 40% comes from the rain, from the plants. I want water to enter the soil right at that spot. I don't want it to run off at the edge of the field. If it runs off, it's not about how much water you received, how much did you capture? I cannot have a functional water cycle if I do not build enough aggregates. Plants do that. Now, what does an aggregate look like? Where is an aggregate? Looks like this, folks. I want to make sure that you all see this. We are going to measure with this simulator. You see those little beautiful dangling little marbles? That's an aggregate. It is the fusion, the biological fusion of sand, silt, and clay. Yes, Doc, even sand, sugar sand, first thing plants do is create those little marbles. That's called the agrosphere. Without the aggregate, we cannot have climate. The beginning of the water cycle and the end of the water cycle starts with life. If we don't have enough aggregates in the soil, not enough living plants, and only plants and microbes create those beautiful marbles. Inside live the organisms. We're going to see by watching this machine if we have a functioning water cycle. If I do not get the water in, I don't have nutrient cycling. Microbes swim in water, ladies and gentlemen. And they're the ones that bring the mineral out of the sand, the clays, and the silts. Life does that. Capture sun. I have to have a functioning water cycle. I have to have a functioning nutrient cycle. And the last one. Can I borrow your phone for a second? You see this phone? It is worthless without software. Worthless. It's a chunk of plastic and metals and rare metals. It's worthless. Software. The last process. The software of the planet is diversity of life, diversity of insects, plants, humans, animals, critters, bacteria. 50% of all the biodiversity is in the soil. It is the most diverse ecosystem on the planet. Millions of species. 1 tablespoon is more than all the humans on the planet. Life. So 4 things, Tommy. When I walk onto your place, do you know what the tool I use to know if all those 4 processes are working? The shovel. The shovel lets me know. I can see by the colors, and the first thing I want to see is aggregates. And what causes the starvation of aggregates? Too much tillage, too much fertilizer, leaving the ground bare. We are going to see what happens when you don't capture enough sun. This demonstration is going to show it. So let me show you what we're going to do next. Now, each of those pans were collected. And Michael, where's Michael? Michael Hall. Thank you, Mike, for capturing. It takes a lot of work. Hey, Mike, we don't have our skin for our forest. Where's our leaves and stuff? Okay, this is a forest soil. Now, each pan not only can represent North Carolina, but it also represents the world. We have a lot of forest soils throughout the planet. And guess what? Forests have a natural skin. Mike's putting the skin, because he captured it, he forgot to put the leaves back.
No, I asked you that, excuse me. I asked you this morning, did we want to put it on?
Yeah. No, now he's blaming me. It's okay. You can tell we're both worked together a long time.
Back up over me.
Yeah, go ahead and put the skin on. Put the skin on, my friend. Now, why does nature on healthy soils have a skin? Your largest organ, Matt, is your skin. So every time you besmirch your skin and put all kinds of lotions and stuff, you're hurting one of the largest organs on the human body. You have to be careful what you put on your skin. Now, grasslands, rangelands, they have a skin. That's called detritus. Forests have skin. The woods, where Mike is saying that Ray forgot. Skin. Skin. They all have skin. No-till with covers have skin. When you plow the skin under, it's not a good thing. We have to be very careful with that skin. A majority of soil microbes live in that first 2 or 3 inches. Skin. Prairies always have skins. Grasslands have skin. Forests have skin. Why is the skin so important, Karen? You guys thought you came here for just lunch. Why is the skin so important? Come on, class. What? Protects it from temperature, rain, impact. Where you have skin, there is no crust. That's why I love rolling cover crops. The moment I roll it, I create a skin and aggregation starts to form, no crust. Why should I care about crust? If I have a crust in the soil, I cannot breathe. Gas, CO2 exchange does not happen, and water infiltration doesn't happen. You get a crust, water runs off. My job is to use cover crops to roll them down and create, Mike, an instant skin. I need it. Now, I want you guys to all, Mike, raise your hand, please. Yes, you see that beard? The Amish say to me, Ray, how do I heal my soil? Look at Mike's beard, and I said, the Amish have a big beard, and I said, grab the roots. I want fibrous roots in the soil 24/7, Mike. Grab the roots. I want fibrous root systems. They leak carbon every square inch. So we're going to see what happens when we don't manage the root system and don't take care of the plants, and you're going to see what happens in our management. Okay? Forest first. Now I have an alignment why I do it this way. I do it with nature's way of doing business, less chemical, physical disturbance, and going this way. I have an overgrazed, and I have one, what's here, Mike? What's this one here? This one, I'm pointing on this one.
That's an annual crop.
It's an annual crop. It's not no-till, right? It's pretty worked up. And then this is conventional farming. A majority of our planet is still farming like this, folks, between here and here. Please understand that. Organic, and I'm a big organic farm fan. I buy organic food, guys. Please understand, a lot of organic farmers do way too much tillage. Some of the most destroyed soils come from organic farms. But because we have we gave organic and tillage a pass. There is no pass. And same thing with no-tillers. They spray too much. I tell my no-tillers, you spray too much. And I tell my organic, you till too much. And then I tell my conventional farmers, I was once you. Okay, so the soil's gonna speak to us. Now, we're gonna make it rain. We're gonna see which one infiltrates, which one has the most balanced biology. You're gonna see the front part of these containers. We're gonna measure runoff, and the back containers, we're gonna measure infiltration. And then afterwards, we're gonna flip the pans. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I make money. I feed my cows. I take care of my crops. It's when the water enters the soil, not when it runs off. Because if it runs off and I'm spending money on a center pivot and it runs off, it's costing me money. Nick, I can't afford it. Are you guys ready to see and let the soil speak to you? I love doing this part. It's my favorite. If I don't lose the remote. What did I do with the remote? Hold on. Oh, I found it. Woo, ooh, 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 ooh. All right. All right.
I've been saying all morning you need a bath.
Yeah. Did you guys get wet? Doesn't that feel good? Hey, that was a tornado. A hurricane. That was a hurricane. Okay, you ready?
Not yet.
Tell me when you're ready. Oh, good. Now you can turn it on.
We'll get out of the way.
Okay, that go the other way.
Yeah, I'm just,
Are you nervous? Go ahead. There we go. Woo! Now we're ready. Okay, we're gonna make it rain. Ready? Remember, our job is to capture the rain. Let's make it rain on these soils. Now remember, sandy soils, Haley, are supposed to infiltrate very quickly because they have big pore space, right? These are sandy soils, folks. This is your South Carolina soils. Okay, look at that. Now, one thing farmers tell me all over the country. Now, Ray, they're saying, wow, look at this. We got so much pressure. Come in. Okay, this is South Carolina. Come and hold this, Kenny.
I got it.
Okay, good. Now, okay, good. Now, people are saying, now, Ray, that's pretty. How many have noticed we either get a lot of rain or we get nothing? How many have noticed that? Even farmers will tell you what is wrong with our rain patterns. I live in Missouri, we get 45 inches. We got 10 to 15 inches in 1 month. 1 month.
How about one day?
I've seen it one day. 15 inches in rock is brutal. Now watch what's happening. What are you guys noticing right off top of the bat? Now look at the white board on the back. Look at the conventional tillage. Look at the overgrazed land. This is the overgrazed where you don't manage the cows. What are you noticing, Larry? A lot of runoff. How about nature? How's the forest doing? Bailey, what do you think about that? Haley, what do you think? Yeah. Oh, the grassland? Oh my gosh. Oh, poor grassland. Oh, look at this, Mike. This is funny. We can't film this one. Look at this. A compaction layer. This one's been tilled. Look at that, like, oh my gosh, we forgot to take the thing off. Okay, let's make it rain. No, I was wondering how come the grassland's not filling up? Properly grazed. This is properly grazed. This is overgrazed. Look at the difference. I knew something. Somebody plowed, see? Now people said to me, now Ray, what's the wrong with tillage and plowing? When you plow, you use all the force and then you smear the bottom of the soil and you create a compaction layer. Tillage does not fix the ground. What fixes it? Living roots, biology, guys. Look at that. We've only, I think, look at that. Even the grass is already caught up. Yeah. Now we're ready. You ready? Let's get ready and we'll flip these out. Now remember, 4 things we got to do. I got to capture sun, because if I don't capture enough sun, I don't build enough aggregates, and I can't destroy aggregates. Second, water cycle, nutrient cycle, and biodiversity. Now, what's wrong with this soil? I'll tell you what's wrong with the soil. Not enough capturing sun, just corn and soybean, and we leave it bare. A majority of our country during the whole year, we capture sun for 130 days, and Mike, we leave it bare. And so what's the impact of that? A lot of tillage, a lot of spraying. And then what happens, ooh, gotta get that. We were losing, so I gotta untie this. Untie the next one, Buzz. And we got this one. We had to tie these ones because we lost it. Now, if I'm doing irrigation and it's costing me a lot of money, how good did this conventional, this is infiltration, this is runoff. This is happening on a global scale. Is this impacting our planet? Yes. This is the climate change. We're blaming the car, we're blaming everything else, but agriculture is the biggest culprit for our climate, but it's also the biggest healer. We should be funding our farmers to cover the land. Agriculture can heal the climate by itself, in my humble opinion. Can you imagine how many have actually driven during the winter? You go from Louisiana all the way to Minnesota, it's bare ground. We're not capturing sun. Our soils are starving. This is a symptom of our starving soil. We don't have enough aggregates. The water's not infiltrating. Now, let's flip it and see how much infiltrated. We just made it rain 1.5 inches. Let's flip it and see how we did. You just got 1.5 inches. You've been praying to the good Lord for rain. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this is our agriculture on a global scale. This is the beginning of desertification. This is what's happening. The soil is not healthy, not functioning, and it can't get the nutrition to you. Everything is one. Everything is connected. Don't ever separate it in your mind. We just spend a lot of money. Our farmers are going broke because we don't understand the soil is alive. Let's check the other one. Thank you, Buzz, by the way. How did this one? Did it do a little better? It did a little better, right? Maybe because we had some vegetation there. Runoff, infiltration. This is sandy soils. That was sandy soil. Right, Mike? Sandy clay. Let's see how this one did. When I did this demonstration in Venezuela, one of the farmers just blared out in Spanish, "Oh, I am screwed." And he says to me, "Ray, what do I do?" I said, "It's too late. Wait until you plant a cover crop and you'll start the healing process." Look at Michael's beard. That's how we start healing it. I always go back to Mike. Mike's a good prop. Let's see how this one did. That one did better, didn't it? Okay, let's go to the next one. Can cows create damage? Cows can heal the planet. It's not the how. It's not the cow. It's the how. We're very good at blaming everybody. We're good at blaming tools, but we need to look in the mirror. Matt, my wife tells me, "Husband, you're 99% of your problem." She's right. That's why the good Lord gave me a wife. When you leave those cows in that paddock and they bite that plant over and over and over again, you created your own drought. You didn't move them. And even when they told you, "Move me," when my sheep, it's so easy to get parasites with sheep. You have to move them. Look at the difference when it's poorly managed. How much infiltrated, Matt? How much ran off? That's brutal. I can't afford that. I don't make money when the water runs off. And we have had massive, massive drought. The reason cattle prices are so high right now, Australia is suffering drought. They're just overcoming a little bit. We had drought the last couple of years in parts of the country. That's why ranchers started selling cows, and they sold too many, and we don't have enough. And it all came back to the management of our lands. We're always wanting to blame something, but it's us at the end of the day. Let's watch what an overgrazed paddock does. And this was shocking when I learned. Now, here's the interesting thing. We still have a living plant. We don't till. Why is the water not infiltrating? Look how dry it is. And you're supposed to say, "Ray, we don't have enough aggregates. You didn't give enough energy to the plant so it can feed the microherd to create the little marbles. So the water runs off." See, we can spend all the money on cost share we want, but until we take care of the microbes, we are not going to heal the climate, and we're not going to heal humans. I'm sorry, we can spend billions. We have spent trillions. We have the best universities in the world, supposedly, and we're going broke. And our climate is disrupted. It's speaking to us. There's a really cool statement in the book of Job. Job said, "The land does not cry out against me." He had thousands of animals. He was a good grazer. He managed his animals. Ladies and gentlemen, the planet's crying out against us.